In the year 2045, Earth was not what it used to be. People looked up at the stars more than ever before. They knew something big was coming, but most didn't know what. In a secret place deep under the Rocky Mountains, a group of the smartest people on Earth were working on something amazing. They were building a spaceship, but not just any spaceship. This was Earth's super spaceship, and it was going to change everything. Dr. Sarah Chen, the lead scientist, walked through the huge underground hangar. She looked up at the massive ship, still only half built. It was already bigger than anything humans had ever made before. We're making good progress, she thought. But will it be enough? Sarah remembered the day 5 years ago, when they first learned about the Galactic Empire. A small alien ship had crashed in the desert. The pilot, barely alive, warned them about the Empire before he died. The governments of Earth decided to keep it all secret to avoid panic, but they also started planning. That's when Project Titan began. Named after the biggest moon of Saturn, it was Earth's plan to build a ship that could stand up to anything the Empire might send. Sarah and her team had been working nonstop ever since. As Sarah walked, she saw hundreds of people busy at work. Some were putting together huge engines that would power the ship. Others were working on weapons that no one on Earth had ever seen before. There were even people creating special computers that could think faster than any human. Dr. Chen, a voice called out. It was Mike, one of the young engineers. He ran up to Sarah, looking excited. We just finished the shield tests. You won't believe how strong they are. Sarah smiled. Good news was always welcome. Show me, she said. They walked to a testing area where a small model of the ship's hull was set up. Mike pressed a button, and a shimmering field appeared around the model. Then, without warning, a powerful laser hit the shield. The light was so bright that Sarah had to look away. But when she looked back, the model was untouched. That laser could cut through a meter of steel, Mike said proudly. Our shield stopped it like it was nothing. Sarah nodded, impressed. Good work, Mike. Keep it up. As she continued her walk, Sarah thought about all the other amazing things they were putting into the ship. There were gravity controls that could make the ship super heavy or as light as a feather. There were engines that could bend space itself, letting the ship move faster than light. And there were weapons that could hit targets millions of miles away. But it wasn't just the ship that was special. The people who would run it were just as important. In another part of the base, the best pilots, soldiers, and scientists from around the world were training. They were learning to work together, to use the new technology, and to face whatever the Empire might throw at them. Sarah walked into the control room, where banks of computers showed the progress of every part of the project. On the main screen was a countdown, 573 days, until the estimated arrival of the Galactic Empire's fleet. General Lai, the military leader of the project, was there looking at the screen with a worried face. Dr. Chen, he said when he saw her. How are we doing? Will we be ready? Sarah took a deep breath. It was the question everyone asked, but no one could really answer. We're making progress, General. The ship is almost 70% complete. If we keep up this pace, we should finish construction with about a month to spare. The general nodded, but he still looked worried. And you're sure it will be enough? The Empire has thousands of ships. We only have one. One is all we need, Sarah said confidently. Our ship will be more advanced than anything the Empire has. It's not just a ship, it's Earth's best hope. Just then, an alarm started blaring. Red lights flashed everywhere. Sarah and the general ran to the main console. What's happening? Sarah shouted. A technician looked up with a pale face. We're detecting a small ship entering Earth's atmosphere. It's not one of ours. Everyone in the control room froze. Was this it? Had the Empire arrived early? But then the technician spoke again. Wait, it's sending a message. In English. On the main screen, words began to appear. People of Earth, we are refugees from the Empire. We come seeking asylum, and to offer our help. We know of your secret project. Let us help you save not just Earth, but the whole galaxy." Sarah and General Lyde looked at each other in shock. This changed everything. Could they trust these aliens? Could this be the key to finishing the ship even faster? As the control room erupted in excited talk, Sarah felt a mix of hope and worry. The next few days would be crucial. Earth's secret was out, at least to these refugees. But maybe, just maybe, this was the boost they needed to be ready in time. The countdown on the screen seemed to tick faster now. The race to save Earth had entered a new and exciting phase. Whatever happened next, Sarah knew one thing for sure. The fate of humanity now rested on the shoulders of the brave men and women working on Earth's secret supercarrier. And she was determined not to let them down. Aliens come knocking. 6 months had passed since the alien refugees arrived on Earth. Their help had been invaluable in speeding up the construction of Earth's secret supercarrier. But now, a new challenge was about to begin. It was a quiet Tuesday morning when the alarms first went off. In the secret base under the Rocky Mountains, red lights flashed and sirens blared. Dr. Sarah Chen ran to the control room, her heart racing. "What's happening?" she shouted as she burst through the doors. General Lai was already there, his face grim. "They're here," he said simply. On the giant screen in front of them, they could see a massive fleet of alien ships entering the solar system. There were hundreds of them, maybe even thousands. They were still far away, just passing Jupiter, but they were coming fast. "How long do we have?" Sarah asked, trying to keep her voice steady. A young technician answered, "At their current speed, they'll reach Earth in about 48 hours. Sarah's mind raced. The supercarrier wasn't finished yet. They needed more time. "Can we hide from them?" she asked. One of the alien refugees, a tall blue-skinned being named Zorn, shook his head. "The Empire's sensors are too good. They already know we're here." Just then, a message appeared on the screen. It was from the lead ship of the alien fleet. Everyone in the control room held their breath as they read it. "People of Earth, this is Admiral Kraz of the Galactic Empire. Your planet has been chosen to join our glorious empire. Resist, and you will be destroyed. You have 24 hours to surrender. Choose wisely." The room was silent for a moment. Then General Lai spoke up. "Well, I guess that's that. We need to show them our answer." Sarah nodded. It was time to put their plan into action. "Let's do this," she said. Over the next few hours, the base was a flurry of activity. While the supercarrier wasn't ready to fight yet, they had other tricks up their sleeve. Sarah and her team had prepared for this moment. First, they sent a message to every country on Earth. It was time to reveal the truth about the alien threat. People around the world watched in shock as their leaders told them about the Empire and the secret project to defend Earth. Next, they activated Earth's new defense grid. Hidden satellites and ground-based weapons came to life, ready to protect the planet. It wasn't as powerful as the supercarrier would be, but it was better than nothing. Finally, it was time to answer the Empire. Sarah, General Lai, and the world's leaders crafted a message together. They sent it not just to the Empire, but broadcast it across the whole planet. "Admiral Kraz and the Galactic Empire, hear this. Earth will not surrender. We are a free people, and we will remain free. We do not want war, but we will fight if we must. This is our home, and we will defend it. You have 24 hours to turn back. If you choose to attack, you will face the full strength of humanity. The choice is yours." As the message was sent, Sarah couldn't help but feel proud. It was a big risk, but it was the right thing to do. Now they just had to hope their bluff would work. The next 24 hours were tense. People all over Earth prepared for the worst. Some panicked, but many came together, ready to face the threat as one. In the secret base, work on the supercarrier continued nonstop. Every minute could make a difference. Sarah worked alongside her team, pushing themselves to the limit. As the deadline approached, Everyone gathered in the control room. The Empire's ships had moved closer. They were now just past Mars, a threatening presence in the sky. 10 minutes left, General Lai announced. Sarah held her breath. Would the Empire attack? Or would they decide Earth was too much trouble? 5 minutes left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Suddenly, a new message appeared on the screen. It was from Admiral Kraz. People of Earth, your defiance is noted, but it changes nothing. Prepare to. The message cut off abruptly. At the same moment, the Empire's ships started to move, but they weren't attacking. They were turning around. What's happening? Sarah asked, not daring to believe her eyes. Zorn, the alien refugee, laughed. It worked. Your bluff worked. As they watched, the Empire's fleet began to retreat. They moved slowly at first, then faster and faster until they disappeared from the solar system. Cheers erupted in the control room. People hugged each other, laughing and crying with relief. They had done it. Earth was safe, at least for now. But Sarah knew this wasn't the end. The Empire would be back, and next time they wouldn't be fooled so easily. They needed to finish the Supercarrier and be ready. As the celebration continued around her, Sarah walked to the window overlooking the hangar where the massive ship was being built. It was their secret weapon, their hope for the future. And now, thanks to their brave stand, they had the time they needed to finish it. Sarah smiled. The real battle was still to come, but humanity had shown its strength today. They had faced the Galactic Empire and stood their ground. Whatever happened next, Earth would be ready. The aliens had come knocking, but humanity had answered with a roar. The next time they met, it would be on humanity's terms, and with their secret supercarrier, they would shock the Galactic Empire like never before. Surprise! 3 months had passed since Earth's brave stand against the Galactic Empire. The planet buzzed with activity as everyone prepared for the Empire's return. In the secret base under the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Sarah Chen and her team worked tirelessly to finish Earth's supercarrier. One day, as Sarah walked through the massive hangar, she smiled. The ship was finally ready. It was huge, sleek, and packed with technology that even the Empire couldn't match. They had named it Hope's Dawn. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the base. Sarah's smile vanished as she raced to the control room. "What's happening?" she asked as she burst in. General Lee pointed at the main screen. "They're back," he said grimly. And this time, they brought an even bigger fleet. The screen showed thousands of Empire ships entering the solar system. They moved fast, clearly angry about their last encounter with Earth. "How long do we have?" Sarah asked. "At their speed, less than 6 hours," a technician replied. General Lai turned to Sarah. "Is Hope's Dawn ready?" Sarah nodded. "Yes, but we haven't tested it in real combat. It's a big risk." "We don't have a choice," the general said. "It's time to surprise them." As the Empire ships got closer, Earth put its plan into action. They sent out a message, pretending to be scared and weak. They begged the Empire for mercy, saying they were sorry for their earlier defiance. Admiral Kraz, the Empire's leader, laughed when he got the message. He thought victory would be easy. He didn't know about Earth's secret weapon. The Empire ships entered Earth's atmosphere, ready to attack. People around the world watched the sky, in fear, but in the secret base, Sarah and her team were calm. They waited for the perfect moment. Just as the first Empire ship fired its weapons, Sarah gave the signal. "Now," she shouted. Deep in the mountains, hidden doors began to open. Slowly at first, then faster, Hope's Dawn rose into the sky. It was massive, dwarfing even the largest Empire ships. Its shiny surface reflected the sunlight, making it look like a rising sun. In his lead ship, Admiral Kraz's jaw dropped. "What is that?" he yelled. On Earth, people cheered as they saw Hope's Dawn. It was their protector, their hope come to life. The Empire ships paused, confused by this unexpected sight. That moment of hesitation was all Earth needed. Hope's Dawn's weapons came to life. Beams of energy shot out, more powerful than anything the Empire had seen before. With pinpoint accuracy, they took out the Empire's frontline ships. Impossible, Admiral Kraz shouted as he watched his ships explode one after another. Sarah and her team worked smoothly inside Hope's Dawn. The ship responded perfectly to their commands, its advanced AI helping them fight better than any normal ship could. The Empire tried to fight back, but their weapons couldn't get through Hope's Dawn's shields. It was like throwing pebbles at a mountain. As the battle raged on, Earth's other defenses joined in. Fighter jets, ground cannons, and hidden satellites all attacked together. The Empire found itself surrounded and outgunned. Admiral Kraz couldn't believe what was happening. His mighty fleet was being beaten by a planet he thought was weak. In a panic, he ordered his ships to retreat. But Hope's Dawn wasn't done yet. It chased after the fleeing Empire ships, easily keeping up with their fastest vessels. More Empire ships fell to its powerful weapons. Finally, Admiral Kraz's voice came over the communication system. "Stop, please. We surrender." Inside Hope's Dawn, Sarah and General Lai looked at each other. This was more than they had hoped for. General Lai spoke into the comm system. "Admiral Kraz, you and your empire threatened our planet. You thought we were weak. Now you know better. Leave our solar system and never return. This is your only warning." With that, Hope's Dawn backed off, allowing the remaining Empire ships to flee. They watched as the once mighty fleet limped away, thoroughly beaten. As the last Empire ship disappeared from their sensors, cheers erupted both inside Hope's Dawn and all around the world. They had done it. Earth had not only defended itself, but had sent the Empire running. Hope's Dawn landed back at the secret base to a hero's welcome. As Sarah stepped out, she was met with applause and hugs. She felt proud but also relieved. Their hard work had paid off. In the days that followed, the whole world celebrated. Hope's Dawn became a symbol of Earth's strength and unity. People from all countries had worked together to build it, and now it had saved them all. But Sarah knew their work wasn't done. The Empire was still out there, and they might return one day. Plus, there was a whole galaxy to explore now. As she looked at Hope's Dawn, gleaming in the hangar, Sarah smiled. This was just the beginning. Earth had surprised the Galactic Empire, and she had a feeling there were many more surprises to come. The age of Earth hiding in the cosmos was over. Now, it was time for humanity to take its place among the stars, and with Hope's Dawn leading the way, the future looked brighter than ever. Space battle. 6 months had passed since Hope's Dawn, Earth's secret supercarrier, had shocked the Galactic Empire and sent them running. Earth had been busy during this time. They built more ships, though none as powerful as Hope's Dawn. They also made friends with other planets who didn't like the Empire. Dr. Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of Hope's Dawn, looking out at the stars. They were far from Earth now, near a planet called Zora. The Zorans had asked for help. The Empire was coming to punish them for being friends with Earth. Dr. Chen called out Lieutenant Park from his station. "We're picking up signals. Empire ships are entering the system." Sarah nodded. They had been expecting this. "How many?" she asked. "A lot," Park replied. "At least 500 ships, maybe more." General Lai, who was also on the bridge, frowned. "That's more than we thought. This won't be easy." Sarah agreed, but she wasn't worried. Hope's Dawn had some new tricks up its sleeve. "Send the signal to the fleet," she ordered. "It's time to show the Empire what we can really do." Outside, Earth's fleet moved into position. There were 50 ships, with Hope's Dawn in the center. They looked small compared to the huge Empire fleet coming towards them. On the Empire's main ship, Admiral Kraz smiled. He thought he had the advantage this time. "We'll crush them," he told his officers. "And then we'll make Earth pay for humiliating us." The space between the two fleets was quiet for a moment. Then, everything exploded into action. The Empire ships fired first, thousands of energy beams lighting up space, but Earth was ready. Their ship shields glowed as they absorbed the attack. "Now," Sarah shouted, "show them our new weapons." Hope's Dawn fired, but it wasn't the energy beams the Empire expected. Instead, small, fast ships shot out. These were Earth's new fighter drones, each one piloted by an AI smarter than any Empire computer. The drones zipped between the big Empire ships, firing with perfect accuracy. Empire ships started exploding left and right, unable to hit the quick little drones. Admiral Kraz was shocked. "What are those things?" he yelled. "Destroy them." But the Empire ships were too slow. The drones dodged every attack, always staying one step ahead. While the drones kept the Empire busy, Earth's other ships moved in. They had special beam weapons that could cut through Empire shields like they were paper. In the middle of it all was Hope's Dawn. It fired its main cannon, a huge beam of energy that cut a line right through the Empire fleet. Where it passed, Empire ships simply disappeared. "Impossible," Admiral Kraz shouted as he watched his fleet being torn apart. But Earth's fleet wasn't done yet. Hope's Dawn had one more surprise. It released a cloud of tiny robots into space. These robots attached themselves to Empire ships and started to take them over. Inside the Empire ships, nothing worked right. Weapons fired by themselves. Engines shut off. Some ships even started to attack other Empire ships. Admiral Kraz couldn't believe what he was seeing. His mighty fleet was falling apart. "Retreat," he ordered. "Get us out of here." But retreat wasn't easy. Earth's drones and ships chased the Empire, not letting them escape easily. By the time the last Empire ship jumped away, more than half their fleet had been destroyed. On Hope's Dawn's bridge, the crew cheered. They had won a great victory. Sarah smiled, but she knew the battle wasn't over yet. "Send a message to Earth," she told Lieutenant Park. "Tell them we won, but the Empire will be back. We need to be ready." As the Earth fleet regrouped, ships from Zora came out to meet them. The Zorans were overjoyed. Their planet was safe, thanks to Earth. "We thank you, people of Earth," the Zoran leader said over the comm. "You have saved us. We would be honored to fight by your side against the Empire." General Lai nodded. "We welcome your help," he said. "Together, we'll be stronger." Over the next few days, more alien ships arrived. Word had spread about Earth's victory. Many planets wanted to join Earth in fighting the Empire. Sarah watched from Hope's Dawn as the fleet grew bigger and bigger. Ships of all shapes and sizes gathered around them. It was an amazing sight. "Look at that," Sarah said to General Lai. "A month ago, we were alone in the galaxy. Now we have allies from a dozen worlds." General Lai nodded. "The Empire thought they could bully everyone," he said. "But they didn't count on Earth bringing everyone together." As they prepared to return to Earth, Sarah thought about how much had changed. Earth wasn't just defending itself anymore. They were leading the fight against the Empire, giving hope to planets across the galaxy. The space battle had been won, but Sarah knew it was just the beginning. The Empire was still out there, angry and dangerous. There would be more battles to come. But as she looked at the fleet of Earth and alien ships around them, Sarah felt confident. They had surprised the Empire with their technology. They had outsmarted them with their tactics. And now, they were uniting the galaxy against them. Whatever the Empire threw at them next, Earth and its new allies would be ready. The age of the Galactic Empire was coming to an end. A new age of freedom for all planets was just beginning. And Hope's Dawn would lead the way. Brave humans. The war against the Galactic Empire had been going on for months. Earth and its allies had won many battles, but the Empire was still strong. Now Earth faced its biggest challenge yet. The Empire had built a huge space station called the Doomed Star. It could destroy entire planets. The Empire was bringing it to attack Earth. If they didn't stop it, Earth would be in big trouble. On the bridge of Hope's Dawn, Dr. Sarah Chen looked at the battle plans one more time. It wouldn't be easy to destroy the doomed star. They would have to fly inside it and blow up its main reactor. It was very dangerous. "Are you sure about this plan, Sarah?" General Lee asked. He looked worried. Sarah nodded. "It's risky, but it's our best chance. We need our bravest pilots for this mission." Just then, a young pilot named Jack stepped forward. "I'll do it," he said. "I'll fly into the Doomstar." Everyone looked at Jack. He was one of their best pilots, but he was also very young. It would be a very dangerous mission. "Are you sure, Jack?" Sarah asked. "You might not come back." Jack stood tall. "I'm sure," he said. "Earth is my home. I want to protect it." Sarah felt proud of Jack's bravery. "Okay," she said. "You'll lead the mission. But you won't go alone. We'll send a team with you." Over the next few hours, they got ready for the big battle. Hope's Dawn would lead Earth's main fleet to fight the Empire ships. Meanwhile, Jack and his team would sneak into the Doomstar. As they waited for the Empire to arrive, Sarah walked through Hope's Dawn. Everywhere she went, she saw brave humans getting ready to fight. Some looked scared, but all of them were determined to protect Earth. In the fighter bay, Sarah found Jack checking his ship. "How are you feeling?" she asked. Jack looked up and smiled. "A little nervous," he said, "but mostly excited. We're going to make history today." Sarah put her hand on Jack's shoulder. "You're very brave, Jack. All of you are. Earth is proud of you." Suddenly, alarms started ringing. The Empire had arrived. The Doomstar came out of lightspeed, surrounded by hundreds of Empire ships. It was enormous, bigger than anything they had ever seen. All ships, battle positions. General Lee's voice came over the speakers. Hope's Dawn moved to the front of Earth's fleet. Behind it, ships from a dozen alien worlds formed up. They were all here to help Earth. The space around them exploded into battle. Lasers and explosions lit up the darkness. Hope's Dawn's advanced weapons took out Empire ships left and right. But there were so many of them. In all the chaos, a small group of fighters led by Jack slipped away from the main battle. They flew towards the Doomstar, dodging enemy ships and lasers. "We're approaching the target," Jack reported. "Starting our run now." Sarah and the crew on Hope's Dawn held their breath as they watched Jack's team disappear into a small hole in the Doomstar's armor. Inside the Doomstar, Jack and his team flew through narrow tunnels. Empire fighters chased them, firing all the way. Two of Jack's team were hit, but the others kept going. "We're almost there," Jack said. "I can see the main reactor." But then, Jack's ship was hit. Alarms blared in his cockpit. "I'm hit," he shouted. "Controls are failing." On Hope's Dawn, Sarah gasped. "Jack, get out of there," she said. "No," Jack replied. His voice was calm. "I can still make it. Tell my family I love them." With the last of his ship's power, Jack flew straight at the reactor. He fired all his missiles just before crashing. The reactor exploded, starting a chain reaction. Jack did it. Someone on Hope's Dawn shouted. "The Doomstar is breaking up." Everyone watched as the huge space station started to fall apart. Empire ships tried to escape, but many were caught in the explosion. When it was over, the Empire fleet was in ruins. The Doomstar was gone. Earth had won its biggest victory yet. But on Hope's Dawn, the mood was mixed. They had won, but at a great cost. Jack and others had given their lives to save Earth. In the days that followed, Earth celebrated its victory. People cheered for the brave humans who had fought to protect them. Jack became a hero, his story told all over the world. Sarah stood at a window on Hope's Dawn, looking out at Earth. She thought about Jack and all the other brave humans who had fought. Some had died. Others would have scars, inside and out, for the rest of their lives. Was it worth it? General Lee asked, coming to stand beside her. Sarah nodded slowly. "Yes," she said. It was hard, and we lost good people, but we protected our home. We showed the galaxy that humans are strong and brave, and we gave hope to all the planets suffering under the Empire. General Lai smiled. You're right, he said. And we're not done yet. The Empire is weak now. This is our chance to end their rule for good. Sarah turned from the window. She felt tired, but also determined. Then let's finish this, she said. For Earth, for Jack, and for every brave human who fought for our freedom. As Hope's Dawn prepared for its next mission, Sarah knew that whatever challenges they faced, the brave humans of Earth would be ready. They had faced the biggest threat in the galaxy and won. Nothing could stop them now. The age of human bravery had only just begun. The big fight. The war had been going on for over a year. Earth and its allies had won many battles. The Galactic Empire was getting weaker, but they weren't done yet. They were planning one last, big attack to crush Earth once and for all. Dr. Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of Hope's Dawn. She looked at the huge fleet around them. Ships from Earth and 100 alien worlds had come together. This would be the biggest space battle ever. Any sign of the Empire yet? Sarah asked. Lieutenant Park shook his head. Nothing yet, Dr. Chen. But our spies say they're coming, and they're bringing everything they have. Just then, General Lai walked onto the bridge. He looked serious. I just got word from Earth, he said. The Empire sent them a message. They say if we don't surrender, they'll destroy Earth and every planet that helped us. Sarah frowned. They're bluffing, she said. They don't have that kind of power anymore. Maybe, said General Lai. But we can't take that chance. We have to win this fight. Suddenly, alarms started blaring. Lieutenant Park's eyes went wide. They're here, he shouted. Thousands of ships, more than we've ever seen. Sarah and General Lai looked out the window. The sky was full of Empire ships. There were so many, they blocked out the stars. In the middle was a ship bigger than anything they'd ever seen. It had to be the Emperor's personal ship. All ships, battle positions. General Lai ordered. Hope's Dawn moved to the front of Earth's fleet. Sarah took a deep breath. This was it. The big fight was about to begin. For a moment, everything was quiet. Then the Empire ships opened fire. The space between the fleets lit up with thousands of laser beams. Return fire, Sarah shouted. All ships, attack. Hope's Dawn's powerful weapons came to life. Other ships in Earth's fleet joined in. Soon, the whole battlefield was full of explosions and flying debris. The fight was fierce. Empire ships exploded left and right, but there were so many of them. Earth ships were being hit too. Sarah watched as friends she had known for months disappeared in balls of fire. We're taking heavy damage, Lieutenant Park reported. We can't keep this up for long. Sarah knew he was right. They needed to do something big, or they would lose. What about the Emperor's ship? She asked. If we can take that out, maybe the rest will retreat. General Lai nodded. It's worth a try. But how do we get to it? It's in the middle of their fleet. Sarah thought hard. Then she had an idea. Remember the trick we used at the Battle of Zora? Let's do that again, but bigger. General Lai smiled. He knew what she meant. It's risky, he said, but it might just work. They quickly shared the plan with the rest of the fleet. Everyone knew it was dangerous, but they were ready to try anything. Hope's Dawn and the other big ships moved into position. They activated their secret weapon, a device that could make a ship look like it was in a different place. To the Empire, it looked like Earth's big ships had suddenly teleported into the middle of their fleet. The Empire ships panicked. They started firing at the fake ships, hitting their own fleet instead. In the confusion, the real Hope's Dawn and its team slipped through the Empire's defenses. They headed straight for the Emperor's ship. Fire everything we've got, Sarah ordered as they got close. Hope's Dawn unleashed all its weapons. The other ships with them did the same. The Emperor's ship was tough, but nothing could stand up to that much firepower. Its shields failed, and explosions rippled across its surface. On the Emperor's ship, alarms were going off everywhere. The Emperor himself, an old alien who had ruled the galaxy for centuries, couldn't believe what was happening. "How is this possible?" he shouted. "They're just humans." But it was too late. The Emperor's ship started to break apart. The Emperor and his top leaders barely escaped in a small shuttle. When the other Empire ships saw their leader running away, they lost heart. One by one, they started to retreat. The battle wasn't over yet, though. There were still thousands of Empire ships fighting. Earth's fleet was tired, but they kept going. They chased the retreating Empire ships, taking out as many as they could. Hours passed. The fighting spread across the whole star system. But slowly, surely, Earth was winning. Finally, the last Empire ship disappeared. The big fight was over. Earth had won. On Hope's Dawn's bridge, everyone was quiet for a moment. They could hardly believe it. Then cheers erupted. People hugged each other, laughing and crying at the same time. Sarah looked out at the battlefield. There was debris everywhere. Many good ships and brave people had been lost. But they had done it. They had beaten the Empire. General Lee put his hand on Sarah's shoulder. "We did it," he said. "It's over." Sarah shook her head. "Not quite," she said. "The Emperor got away. And there might be Empire ships left in other parts of the galaxy. Our job's not done yet." General Lee nodded. "You're right. But we've won the big fight. The Empire will never recover from this. The galaxy is free." As Hope's Dawn headed back to Earth, Sarah thought about everything they had been through. The secret project, the surprise attack, the space battles, the brave humans who had fought and died. It had all led to this moment. The big fight was over, but a new challenge was just beginning. How would they build a free and peaceful galaxy? Sarah didn't know, but she was excited to find out. One thing was for sure. Earth wasn't just a small, hidden planet anymore. They had shocked the galaxy and changed history forever. Whatever came next, the brave humans of Earth would face it together. Humans win. The news spread fast across the galaxy. Earth had won. The Galactic Empire was defeated. Planets everywhere celebrated their new freedom. And at the center of it all was Earth, the little planet that had changed everything. Dr. Sarah Chen stood in front of a huge crowd in New York City. Behind her was Hope's Dawn, the amazing ship that had led Earth to victory. People cheered as Sarah began to speak. "Fellow Earthlings and friends from across the stars," she said, "today we celebrate a victory that belongs to all of us. Humans and aliens alike, we stood together against tyranny, and we won." The crowd roared. Humans hugged their alien friends. It was a party like Earth had never seen before. But even as people celebrated, Sarah knew there was still work to do. The Empire was beaten, but not gone completely. And the galaxy needed a new way to govern itself. In the days that followed, leaders from Earth and other planets met on Hope's Dawn. They talked about how to build a better future for everyone. "We can't just replace the Empire with another big government," Sarah said. "Each planet should rule itself." Zorn, the blue alien who had helped Earth, nodded. "But we should have a way to work together too," said. "A galactic council, perhaps." They all agreed. They would form the Galactic Alliance of Free Planets. Each world would govern itself, but they would meet to solve big problems together. And Earth would help lead the way. As the meetings went on, Sarah couldn't help but think about how much had changed. Just 2 years ago, humans thought they were alone in the universe. Now they were helping to rebuild the galaxy. But not everything was easy. Some Empire loyalists were still causing trouble. There were pirates taking advantage of the confusion. And some planets didn't trust each other after years of Empire rule. Earth's fleet, led by Hope's Dawn, was busy helping where they could. They chased down the last Empire ships. They stopped pirates from attacking peaceful worlds, and they brought food and supplies to planets that needed help. One day, as Hope's Dawn orbited a planet called Siloria, Sarah got an urgent message. A group of ex-Empire soldiers had taken over a city. They were holding people hostage. "We have to help," Sarah said to General Lai. The general nodded. "But we can't just attack. We might hurt the hostages." Sarah thought for a moment. Then she had an idea. "What if we use our hologram technology? We could make them think we have them surrounded." It was a good plan. Hope's Dawn projected huge holograms of Earth ships all around the city. The ex-Empire soldiers panicked and gave up without a fight. The hostages were saved without anyone getting hurt. News of this clever victory spread quickly. More and more planets asked to join the Galactic Alliance. They saw how Earth used its power to help others, not to control them like the Empire had. Months passed. Slowly but surely, the galaxy was healing. Trade routes opened up between worlds that had never talked to each other before. People from different planets started to become friends. Earth changed too. Alien technology helped solve big problems like pollution and disease. Humans learned new things from their alien friends, and space travel became common. Many humans left Earth to explore the stars. But with all this success came new challenges. Some people worried that humans were changing too fast. Others feared that aliens might try to take over Earth one day. Sarah understood these worries. That's why she worked hard to help humans and aliens understand each other better. She started a program where people from different planets could live together and learn from each other. 1 year after the big victory, the Galactic Alliance held its first big meeting on Earth. Representatives from 1,000 worlds came to talk about the future. As Sarah looked out at the crowd, she saw humans sitting next to aliens of all shapes and sizes. They were working together, sharing ideas, making plans for a better galaxy. This is what winning really means, Sarah thought to herself. Not just beating the Empire, but building something better. The meeting wasn't always easy. There were arguments and disagreements. But in the end, everyone wanted the same thing: peace and freedom for all. As the meeting ended, an old alien approached Sarah. "I remember when the Empire first rose to power," he said. "I never thought I'd see it fall. But you humans did what no one else could. You gave us hope." Sarah smiled. "We all did it together," she said, "and we'll build the future together too." That night, there was a big party to celebrate the new Galactic Alliance. Fireworks lit up the sky over every major city on Earth. Hope's Dawn flew low over the crowds, its lights shining brightly. As Sarah watched from the ship's bridge, she thought about everything that had happened. Earth's secret Supercarrier had shocked the Galactic Empire. Brave humans had fought impossible battles. They had made friends across the stars and changed the course of history. "What do you think comes next?" General Lee asked, standing next to her. Sarah looked out at the stars. There was so much out there still to explore, so many new friends to meet, so many adventures to have. "I don't know," she said with a smile, "but I can't wait to find out." As Hope's Dawn soared into the night sky, Sarah knew one thing for sure. Humans had won more than just a war. They had won a future full of endless possibilities. The next chapter in humanity's story was just beginning, and it was going to be amazing. The galaxy would never be the same again. And it was all because a little planet called Earth had dared to dream big and reach for the stars. Humans had won, and their greatest adventures were still to come.